So a rising tide lifts all boats, and if you've lived in your current home for maybe 2 or more years, you could potentially be sitting on a lot of equity right now, as the homes around your neighborhood are selling for values that haven't been seen for over 10 years. That might be tempting you to cash out on those equity and move it into a bigger and better home, maybe a better location for your family. But why would you do that, right? Did you just say that home values are increasing all over? Well, that's true, but the historically low interest rates still kind of offset those increased values of homes. So now you can afford more than what you could have if you bought even 2 years ago, just because the interest rates are lower. And so if you capitalize on the low interest rates, you could potentially only be paying a couple $100 more per month than what you're currently paying for your home that you're living in right now. And so that's really what a lot of buyers are trying to capitalize on at this moment, before all the rates really start to climb as they're projected to in 2022. Maybe what's stopping you from selling your current home is that you've heard that the buyer's market is just a little bit competitive right now. You've got buyers out there that are bidding anywhere from $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000, even $100,000 over the list price. It really just depends on the market, the price point that you're shopping, right? So don't get too excited about that. Also, the terms that buyers are offering sellers right now, basically the lowest amount of contingencies that you can offer as a buyer, the better it looks for a seller. But being as competitive as the market is right now, maybe that's what's stopping you from listing your home, because it's so easy to sell right now, but it's a lot harder to buy, right? So you probably don't want to end up homeless if you happen to sell your house before you can find the next one. Well, lucky for you, Realtor Lore here, and I've got a couple strategies that you can utilize to help you sell your home, take advantage of the market right now, and get yourself into a home with some of these strategies, even in this super competitive buyer's market. So the first strategy is to simply buy your next home first and then sell your current home. And that's a lot easier said than done, right? For that to happen, you'd have to have the right debt to income ratio, meaning also that you'd have to have enough income to carry 2 mortgages at the same time. And possibly since the time that you've bought your first home, maybe you've had a significant promotion at work, or you've got a significant side hustle that produces enough income, or maybe you've gotten married and your spouse has that extra income to help you buy that home first and then sell your current home. This would be the most simple and straightforward process if you have the finances to do so. Strategy number 2 is to utilize what's known as a bridge loan. Some lenders will offer this special type of loan that it requires that your current home has to have some equity in it. Essentially, the lender is giving you a short-term loan on the equity that's available, so then you can use that as a down payment to acquire your next home. And then after you acquire your new home, you would then sell your current home to take those sales proceeds to pay off that existing mortgage along with the bridge loan that the lender just gave you. So this is a strategy that will allow you to get into a home without using a home sale contingency. As we know in this current buyer's market, the less contingencies that you have, the better your offer looks. Strategy number 3 is to simply sell your current home and then rely on your friends and family members, move in with them if they're willing to accommodate you short term until you can find your next home. Of course, you may have a lot of stuff, and all that stuff will probably have to go to a storage unit as well. But this is definitely something that may be available if you have friends and family who are willing to put up with you for a little bit. Strategy number 4, if you don't want to deal with any friends or family, or they don't want to deal with you, and that option is not available, then the next next strategy that makes sense would be to just simply rent temporarily. And currently right now in this market, it is extremely hard to find a place that's willing to rent month to month. If you can, that's great, and that would be the ideal solution for you temporarily while you find your next home. However, worst case scenario, you will have to probably sign a 1-year lease, or at least pay some type of penalty. Maybe you should check the lease first before you sign it. If you terminate early, what are the penalties? Alternatively, you could try to negotiate with short-term rental property owners, Airbnb type properties, where you can stay for weeks at a time or a month at a time. That might be a possible less expensive option for you. So give that a try. Strategy number 5 is to list your home for sale, but let it be known to potential buyers that you, the seller, require post-closing occupancy. What does that exactly mean? That means that you, the seller, need to stay at the home until X amount of months, or indefinitely until you find a home. I've seen other sellers request to stay all the way through the end of 2021. And some sellers are offering to pay the buyer rent for however long they end up staying there. And then on the other hand, some buyers are offering to the sellers that they can stay there rent free, as a way to make their offer more competitive. And it's really a win-win situation. The seller gets to stay longer until they find a home, and then the buyer, of course, knows that at least they have a home that they've locked in, but they probably don't know when they might be able to move in, and hopefully sooner than later. But this is definitely a strategy that is happening out there right now in this current market, and it's working. So those are my 5 strategies that you can use to take advantage of the equity growth in this market, potentially get yourself into a new home and take advantage of those still historically low rates. Thank you guys for watching. If you like my content, please give me a like and thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to stay tuned for future real estate related content on my channel.